Welcome to Parade, where tonight one team marches to the state tournament. It's the Class 1A Section 5 championship game inside the Parade Ice Garden here in Minneapolis. John Haddon and Dan Ficken, glad to be with you this evening on CCX Media. And Dan, this is a section championship, but in a lot of people's minds around the state, this is the de facto state championship.
Right, we got number 1 and number 2 rated in the state playing tonight. It's a shame both teams can't make it into the state tournament, but that's actually been the legend of this section for a number of years.
Part of the reason these two teams are so formidable is the players on these teams. And let's start with the number 2 Breck School Mustangs, who are led by Grace Zumwinkle. She has put up monster numbers this season.
Oh, huge, about 45 points total. She has been their leader, their strength. She skates with total strength. She's a power player who's got a shot that's going to blow your head off. And when you see it, you might not be able to see it going in the net. She's the true leader of the team, and when they need something to happen, she generally is the person that gets it done for them.
During the regular season, 9 hat tricks. She finished with 38 goals, and she missed several weeks playing with the Team USA squad as well. On the other side, look for Lucy Burton for the number 1 Blake School Bears, and Lucy's having herself a solid campaign as well.
Very much so. She's on the top line for them. She works the power play for them. Big, strong center, can really play. Is going to Yale, has got a nice scholarship there, and has been a real leader for the team. But on Blake, it's a little more blended. She tends to blend in a little bit more, but you'll see her when they need her to show up.
You mentioned Lucy going to Yale, but we're going to be talking all night long about colleges because there are so many players in this game that have either verbally or inked their way to the college program already.
Yeah, you and I both, we've never worked a game with this many. There's 11 of them in here, and it's going to make for a great game. We're going to see high speed. We're going to see skill level with hands, shooting, playmaking, really knowing their way around the rink. Like, God, I love doing them kind of games, don't you?
One of the other great things about this game tonight is how hot both of these teams come in. They've been playing great hockey down the stretch.
Yeah, Breck comes in 7-1-1 in their last 9 games. Done a real good job getting ready. They might have taken a night off getting in here against Princeton, but I think they're going to be ready tonight. Blake, 15-0-0 in their last 15 games, so they're a juggernaut and a powerhouse coming in here, and obviously the clear favorite, so we'll see what happens.
And Blake has won the last 2 meetings, both this season, against Breck. That said, we'll step aside. When we come back, we'll dive deeper into this matchup. It's the Section 5 Class A championship game here on CCX Media.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Back in Minneapolis, where the Section 5 Class A championship game is just about set to go. John Haddon and Dan Ficken, glad to be back with you, as is our entire CCX Media crew. And when you talk about this section, Dan, it's got a rich history that features just these 2 programs, at least for a long, long time, 10 straight years in Section 5.
Yeah, right now the past 10, Breck has got a 5-4 lead, and you can see it has not been anybody running away with it here in the last few years. And generally the team that gets out of here is either a contender for state or wins the state championship itself.
Breck actually went the year before in 2008 as well. Different section, different opponent, but it's been these 2 matching up, and Blake has won the last 4 consecutive. They won the 2 regular season meetings between these 2, although they were close games. How did we get here through the section? Blake had the bye in the opening round, then knocked off Minneapolis 8-1. Totino Grace fell 8-1 against Breck. Then The Mustangs got into a tight one with Princeton, but emerged with a 2-1 victory to earn their spot in this championship game here today. There's Allie Franzik. She's been in goal each and every game for the Mustangs this season. See the effort she's put in all season.
Sophomore's got to come up with a really big game tonight for them if they're going to beat Blake. She's the real key. She's tested pretty good, but this is the big one right here.
8 shutouts for her. They'd love to see number 9 this season. The puck has been dropped at center ice. We'll check out the other goaltender. For Breck, in front of their goaltender, Nicole Oppenheimer and Emily Zumwinkle, a senior and an 8th grader, starting as their defenders. And Breck got into the offensive zone with Grace Zumwinkle, Gabby Billing, and Abigail Riskovich. Now it goes the other way, and Blake loses control behind the Mustangs' net. Bears trying to work it out of the corner. Centering pass to the front, shot too tall. It goes over the crossbar on the attempt by Izzy Daniel. Now we get a whistle to stop play. And you see early attacks coming on Franzik. On the other side, bit of a surprise, maybe. It's the younger goaltender, Olivia Beisel, who gets the start here tonight. The other thing about Beisel on that other side, as you get another look at that one going too tall, is she didn't start either of the previous games against Breck.
No, it did, but if you look at the tandem, that may be the best goaltending tandem in this class in the state. They both have outstanding records and goals against averages, 1 and 106.
They wouldn't be sharing time on many other teams around the state. That includes 2A as well.
Yeah.
Blake trying to force the action. Breck has it in the far corner. Player gets upended, mostly of her own volition. Now down along the near side. Mustangs get it to neutral ice. Carried up here by Kendall Williamson. She breaks the blue line, now carries in deep to the corner. Williamson trying to center a pass. That didn't get to anyone. Picked up behind the net. Here's Madeline Wethington, a future U of M player. We're going to be listing colleges all evening long. Blake sliding the puck ahead. It's taken to the offensive zone and sent on net by Madison Tix. Tix might come up big tonight. The last 2 times these 2 teams have met in the section, it's been 1 in overtime. She has an overtime game winner this season. Here's a shot, and that one goes whistling past Beisel, a future Bulldog at UMD, between the pipes for the Blake School Bears. And there's Beisel collecting the puck in her glove as we're scoreless early.
She's got a 1.00 goals against, which is pretty doggone good, 950 save percentage. She's really stepped up, has done a great job here for the Blake Bears this season. That's a good reason why she got the start.
Stellar numbers for her. Beisel looking on as her team takes it out of the zone. Madeline Wethington and Kira Willoughby are the defenders in front of her, the starting front line for the Blake Bears today. Lucy Burton centering, along with Lily Delianides and Izzy Daniel. And there's a look at head coach Rhonda Engelhart in her 4th year at the helm of the program. 73 wins for Engelhart as the head coach of Breck. And it was kind of a rough go at the start, 10-14-1 her first season. Things have gotten better and better every year, and now she's hoping to lead this team back to the state tournament and end this run for the Blake Bears.
Yeah, she's got good creds, and we have Sean Reed, who took over the Blake program and has continued on here in his 5th year, and defending state champion again.
They haven't missed state since he's come aboard. Here, puck slid through the neutral zone, gathered up by Breck. They try to clear it out, held in nicely there by McClanahan. Sarah McClanahan, we mentioned OT game winners. She had it a year ago in this championship game. Breck picks it up behind their own net, now skating out. There is so much speed on the ice here. Grace Zumwinkle taking it to the far side. She gets laid out.
Okay.
No arms in the air, no whistles. We play on. 14:52 to go opening period. Bears in their own zone, sending it up the near side boards. Move to neutral ice, passed across, and off the far wall, it's collected by Wallen. She'll push it into the zone, left behind the net. Teammates pick it up. This is Delianides. Out to the blue line, controlled by Voida. She's headed to Yale. Puck played up the wall and tipped out of the zone. Bears back at neutral. Lucy Burton getting to it first.
Well, you're seeing a strategy here by the Bears. They're going to get it down deep and put pressure on this young set of Mustang D. They got 3 sophomores playing, and they got to know how to handle the puck. We already saw her give them one turn away to Izzy Daniel, who almost piped it in after she shot high, but they're going to attack that Mustang D.
Blake lost this one on their own, now collecting back in their own end. Bears unable to keep control. Breck knocked it away for a moment, pushed towards the blue line, and Breck holds it in.
Yeah, the other thing we got to look at too, the Mustangs got to have good speed and good playmaking. They got to use that speed and keep moving and be aggressive. Make sure that they play most of their game down on the Blake end here, rather than get stuck in their own end.
Bouncing puck, Breck able to pick it up. Mustangs trying to move it down to the near side, lost to the Bears. Blake controlling. Number 1 ranked in the state, pass sent forward, and it got to 2 players at the same time. Didn't really work out very well, and Breck pushes it back into the Blake zone. Knocked back out to neutral. Picked up at neutral lines by Nicole Oppenheimer. The senior's been playing well down the stretch. Puck taken away and chipped ahead by Blake's Grace Johnson. The freshman goes off on a change with the rest of the Bears. Breck picks it up in their own zone. Allie Qualley into neutral ice. Lost her footing, lost the puck, and it's picked up by the Bears, and they go the other way. This is Burton, the young one, and the freshman goes in offsides. Addie Burton headed to play for the Gophers. It'll be a while. She's just a freshman, but has given the verbal. And I thought that was one of the most interesting things that Coach Reed said to us before the game. Yeah, we have a lot more commits, but it's because of the way colleges are recruiting and coming after these players younger and younger. So it wouldn't have been possible in years past to have this many commits probably on a team.
No, but the quality's there. And, of course, you're looking at 2 of the top programs in the state that have produced top D1 players over the years. And I also noticed the retinue of Ivy League colleges that is in there,
Absolutely.
too. This is a smart bunch of girls, all of them.
Well, that's been a calling card of Minnesota as well, peppering the Ivy Leagues for sports as this shot goes wide. Might have been tipped a little bit by the blocker. I know Ivy League football teams love to recruit in the state of Minnesota as this puck popped up and out of play. It cleared the glass and got into the netting with 12:29 remaining in our first period.
Well, here the Bears setting up. This is what they want to do. They want to keep this pressure down here. They're going to move the puck around, and you can tell by how aggressive the last offside. They were just trying to be aggressive, get in the zone as quickly as they can and put the pressure on.
Here's stick side draw picked up by Blake. A little centering pass. That was a soft touch. Leaving it on the doorstep was Burton for Delianitas. She couldn't get to it. Now Breck behind the net, controlled by Oppenheimer, trying to shoveling it out and gets back to her behind the net. Oppenheimer has some space to work with. Now sends a long pass forward, looking ahead for Grace Zumwinkle, but it didn't get to her. Instead, it's pushed back into the Breck zone. Emily Zumwinkle gets to it, just an 8th grader. 2 8th graders on the squad for the Mustangs. Zumwinkle, D-to-D pass out to the far side, pushed forward and tipped ahead. That one out of the reach of Grace Zumwinkle, tipped down to the near side. We get a whistle as this one scooped up by the official, comes back out to the center.
No, I like what Breck did there. They tried to spring Zumwinkle out on the far wing, relieving some of the pressure, so that should bring a forward back or keep their deep pushed back so they can't keep it in the zone.
There's Coach Engelhart once again. Miss Hockey back in 1999. Her name wasn't Engelhart back then, but her and her sister were tearing up high school hockey in the state of Minnesota in the late 90s and early 2000s. Here puck pops up along the near side boards and now is moved into the Blake zone. Puck has been in the Blake zone not the majority of the time, but a fair amount of time so far. However, the Mustangs really haven't gotten much for quality shots or any shots on goal to this point. In fact, shots on goal lacking for both sides as we're in an early feeling out period. Both these teams over 30 shots per goal average, or 30 shots on goal per game average.
Both have very potent offensive squads. Breck's averaging over 4 goals a game, as well as Blake.
Puck played along the near side, now worked out of there, and it's pushed ahead. Moving out to the far side, trying to move it up ahead is Benick. Now ends up behind the net, and we've got an arm in the air. Looks like a tripping call upcoming. Our first penalty of the day, and it sends Blake to the box, sitting down.
Haley Konowalczyk's going in, got that stick caught up in the legs, and that was a good speed move by Kendall Williams in here. She got through. There was a...
Konowalczyk doesn't have a lot of time in the penalty box this season, but the senior sits down now, and a power play opportunity for Breck, who is nearly 34% on the power play this season. This might be one of their best chances to get a goal in this game. Blake, however, great start, clears it out off the opening draw. So as Konowalczyk watches, Breck carrying it up with Grace Zumwinkle. She flies across the blue line. Zumwinkle getting around the defense all the way to the net, tries to shove it in, doesn't work out. She ends up behind the cage. Teammates pick it up, leave it back to her again. Zumwinkle in the far corner. Surveying her options, slides it out to the blue line, taken by Oppenheimer. Back to Zumwinkle. It comes down into the near corner. Centering pass, moves off a skate, tip back to the blue line. Oppenheimer holds it in, gets to the slot, shot from there, and a save made. Diving to cover it up is Beisel.
Well, good comeback by the Mustangs. It looks like they were giving up control and it was go out of the zone, but a good stop right there by the D. Got it back in.
Just fortunate for Breck that it bounced right to Olivia Mobley, who's been hot here in the postseason. 2 postseason goals already, and she was between the circles looking for a third, but stonewalled.
And Zumwinkle was sitting right off the wing for that rebound.
Here, pass into traffic in the middle. Now a hot shot goes wide, and there's that strong Grace Zumwinkle shot. Puck around the boards. Grace trying to get after it. Blake knocks it away. Hard contact down there. I wouldn't be surprised to see more and more of that as this game goes on. And not even so much from these teams know each other and they're chippy, that sort of standpoint, but more the level at which these girls play is higher than they get to play any other time. So it gets closer and closer to the men's game. And I've always thought that the more high-level players you get on the ice at the same time, the more physical it gets, just because that's how they're used to playing.
Well, you'll notice, too, that the purse is taking a lot of the physical hits of the stars like Zumwinkle, and she expects it. You know, really, when you talk about it, John, both these teams have played a strong double-A schedule, frankly.
Yes.
I mean, they've played the Hill Murrays, the Edinas, the Centennials and stuff, so pretty much every game they rock.
Puck taken in, shot, goal! Olivia Mobley carrying it in, and it either deflected off the goaltender and in, or there was a rebound tap because there was someone sitting on the post as well. If it's Mobley, it's her third of the postseason, and based on the congratulations she's getting right now, mark it Mobley.
Nice move right there, got herself in front. Yeah, she got it in on the short side, just a great shot, got it up and over her shoulder. Maybe you get a good chance to see it hit the net here. Oh, went off the shoulder pad of the goalie.
Big time for Breck, who is 0-2 against Blake this season, to score the opening goal of this game.
Well, and it was key, too, for Breck to get scoring from somebody besides Zumwinkle and Williamson here, too. And, boy, that's a good opener for them, too.
So Mobley on the goal. I said her third of the postseason, her 11th of the year overall.
Well, it's really important for them to Breck to stay on top, get a lead. It's going to be tough for them to play from behind against Blake.
They give 1 assist on the goal. That's to Restovich, her second of the postseason, 16th of the season. Blake looking to answer back. Here's a hot shot that goes wide on the glove side. That one blasted in there by McClanahan. Headed to Dartmouth in the future. Puck bouncing loose, picked up once again, and a shot trickles. That one got redirected by a defender, and a great reach back by Franzik to kick that one away.
Sophomore might be on her game tonight for the Mustangs.
8:20 remaining in our opening period. Breck looking to get back in offensively, sends a shot in from the blue line. Now they're changing as Blake gathers the puck. Bears send it up the near side boards. Taken forward by Delianides. She gets into the offensive zone, slides it across to the far side boards. Taken there by Izzy Daniel. That top line is out there for Blake, looking to get on the board. Puck knocked loose. Delianides fighting for it. Now scooped up by Daniel. Izzy Daniel to the near side. Looking to leave it to the blue line. And holding it there is Shoot for a moment. Sarah Shoot can't keep it there, and Breck forces it to the other end. Giving chase, Cece Wallen, the first player there, the junior, trying to hold on to it. Sends it forward to Delianides.
Boy, Blake does a nice job of reversing. We've seen about 4 or 5 of them when they had a Mustang on their tail. Their defense are quick. Oh!
Grace Zumwinkle with a centering pass. It's stabbed towards the net. And a big-time save from the Blake goaltender.
Gabby Billing camped out in front, was ready for it, and almost caught the goaltender by surprise.
Great feed from Zumwinkle, and Breck did everything right here. They just couldn't beat the goaltender. Able to pinch that one under her wing. 7:27 remaining in the opening period. Breck with coming off a golden opportunity chance, couldn't capitalize. So here comes Blake. A little hesitant, now they slide it forward and it's pushed into the zone. This is back to the Bears we saw in the opening minutes where they dumped and chased repeatedly. Puck knocked away, Breck has it. Ella Brophy controlling. Sophomore now goes down to the ice. Puck held in by Blake. Bears trying to get it to the front. Instead, Breck comes up with it. Mustangs can't work it out of the zone. Now a centering pass tipped away, and it's collected by Riskovich. She's going to Trinity in the future. Riskovich dumps and goes off on a change. Zumwinkle in hot pursuit trying to get to that puck. Couldn't quite do it. Out to neutral ice. Emily Zumwinkle has it there, sends it forward on the near side. Grace giving chase, Madeline Wethington giving it as well. The sophomore won the foot race.
Nice footwork by Wethington. She just held on to it just a whit too long. One turn too many.
Then Breck gets it out to the blue line. Wrister, and that one goes over the crossbar from Emily Zumwinkle. Down into the near side corner. Puck sent out of the zone, collected by Breck, and Oppenheimer tries to backhand it back in. Great pace of play to this game so far. Breck in front 1-0. Mustangs looking to center a pass again. Blake takes the puck away in the circle and works out of the zone. Pass forward, and it's carried into the offensive end. Coming in is Audrey Wethington. Tried to leave it behind. Now she's tied up is the player that it was passed to, Sarah McClanahan.
Well, Breck's D is kind of stepping up here a little bit more, not sinking too far back in their zone and putting a stop on some of these plays now, and all of a sudden Blake ain't running in there with a lot of confidence. They're going to have to dump.
Nice adjustment on the fly by Breck to switch up the defense after those first couple of minutes. Here's a backhander that sails wide on the stick side, down into the near corner. Played back behind the net. Oppenheimer collects it. Oppenheimer looking to send it long up the near side boards. Takes a bounce and is moving slowly towards the extended goal line. The tender had to come out, and Beisel slides it away. She also pushed it forward, moving ahead. Delianidis passes it off, taken towards the net. Shot stonewalled by Allie Frantic.
Oh, but what a move by the freshman, Delianidis. Oh my gosh, what a great move getting in tight.
Buck dumped in by Breck's Allie Qualley. So Blake behind their own net, looking to push it up quickly. Breck disrupts it for a moment. Delianidis once again getting to it, now sent away. Grace Zumwinkle into the offensive zone, maintains possession and puts a backhander on. Even her backhander has some serious power.
She doesn't have any moves at all, no hands whatsoever. Oh my gosh, can she play.
Zumwinkle again, here she goes, trying to carry in. She's pushed off. We asked Coach Reed before the game, what has he done, or what does he know about Zumwinkle that no one else does? Because Grace has had some quiet games against Blake this season. And he said, absolutely nothing. She's just been ringing pipes, and we've gotten lucky, basically. And he says they play her straight up. And is that what you've seen so far here tonight, Dan?
Yes, he's moved 3 lines consistently for Blake. He hasn't made any shadow or anything like that when Zumwinkle's out. Not even the defense has changed. He's rotating them all.
And she'll be skating for the Gophers next year. Again, 38 goals during the regular season while missing a couple of weeks.
Oh, boy. That Gopher team's going to be fun to watch in the next few years. When you look at the kids that are coming out of this state, and Brad Frost has really done a great job keeping these really good players in state.
The great thing about girls hockey is it just keeps getting better and better, and the great thing about the Gophers is they continue to get the best of the best.
Yes, they do.
So the level just continues to rise. Here, puck played off the backboards inside the Blake zone. Getting to it is Sarah Shute. She sends it ahead on the far side. Wall carried into the zone. Offsides is the call. 3 minutes, 49 seconds to go in our opening period. There's Coach Reed. Had a stint in college hockey at the D3 level in the MIAC, and then has been in high school for a while. One stop before coming to the Blake Bears 5 years ago.
Done a great job with this program after it was built and by better coaches in the state. And for heaven's sakes, I can't remember his name. Bad start, Dan. My fault, John. Doggone it. But has kept the tradition going.
As the former coach, I expect you to remember the coaches.
That's what happens when you get old.
We'll ask Coach Reed about it again afterwards. Here, puck left back to the blue line. Bears control, send it towards the net. Again, a deflection, and again, Frantic saw it pretty well off the deflection. Her eyes are locked in.
She's also moving under control, too. She isn't getting too far outside her zone, and when the puck's outside, she gets out on the crease.
Shot from the blue line, and that one went into the back of her teammate, Madeline Wethington, wearing that one. Might see a welt on her later. Puck played into the corner, controlled by Willoughby. Down to the near side, and the puck squirts back into the far corner. Delianidis getting to it first, taps it off to Lucy Burton. Now back to the blue line. This wrister goes wide down to the near side. And the puck slid out of the zone. And out to the far wall. Poked away from Madeline Wethington and dumped in by Breck, courtesy of Kendall Williamson.
Whew.
She'll be with the Colgate Raiders in the future, Will Williamson.
Nice player, got good speed. Not really big, but it's got all the intangibles, the hands, the speed, the smart sense. Good hockey player.
Look at Gabby Billing heading to Dartmouth to play with Big Green.
I just love how these boxes come up, John. And this college and that college. God, it's just so fun to do a game like this.
I'm trying to race our graphics operator tonight, see who can get it on there first. There's just so many of them. Here, puck played down to the blue line. Grace Zumwinkle takes the shot. That one deflected off the skate, back out front, and it's knocked away by Blake. The Bears out to neutral ice. Begging for the puck is Delianita. She gets it on the near side and walks into the offensive zone. Centers a pass for Daniel. It bounces off of her. Now into the corner. Back to Delianita's behind the puck. She plays it forward. Breck takes it away. Mustangs from the near side. Send a long pass ahead. Goes off of Lucy Burton, and she collects it neutral ice. Burton dumps it into the zone. Most of the Bears off on a change, but Burton pursues. Puck picked up by Breck behind the net. They bring it up the near side. Knocked away for a moment. Breck holding the zone, or excuse me, Blake holding it. Now Breck gets it out to Grace Zumwinkle. Into the offensive end. Zumwinkle drags herself out to the far side. Now leaves it behind the net. Trying to buy herself some time. Everyone else is changing.
Did a nice job of getting in deep, keeping it away from the Blake Bears so they couldn't get out clean.
Blake now gets it to neutral ice, courtesy of McClanahan. McClanahan gets into the offensive zone. Shot, goal! The wrister after she crosses the blue line. Top shelf over the glove of Franzik, and we are tied at 1 apiece.
Boy, that's a tough one to give up for the Mustangs with 1:30 left. That last 2 minutes of the period, you really don't want to give it up. And boy, nice shot. I think Franzik was screened a little bit here. Came off the edge of that D, and I don't think she saw it coming in all the way. Oh, that was just a beauty of a shot. I think it just creased off her glove and went in.
McClanahan with her first goal of the postseason. She's got a dozen now during her junior campaign. Puck carried into the offensive zone by Breck. They led for a time. The lead is gone. We are tied at 1 late in the opening period. Puck brought into the offensive zone. Julia Murphy carries it to the net, puts the side off the shot off the side of the goaltender, leave it back out to the blue line. Wrister from the top, that one off traffic, bounces into the corner near side. Puck knocked away, out to the far wall, held in by Emily Zumwinkle. They give no assists on that goal for McClanahan. I thought somebody touched it off to her first. Puck collected by Blake. Bears pushing it forward. Intercepted by Breck. Big time pickoff there by Nicole Oppenheimer. She gets into the offensive zone. Carrying forward is Billing. She can't get it to the net. And it's knocked away. Blake with speed. Here's Lucy Burton. Burton to the net. Takes the shot. Save made. A pad save by Franzik. Speaking of frantic, how about the push put on by Nicole Oppenheimer to try and get back defensively and cause some kind of disruption?
Nice job. You bet. Didn't give up on it at all.
Puck slid the other way with 15 seconds left in the period. It's covered up by Blake's Olivia Beisel.
Well, overall, Frantic has done a very good job so far, John. I think, just that one slip by. Doing the games here, there always seems to be one goal coming from that spot into that corner in this game. And don't be surprised if maybe the Blake goalie gives one up next period from that angle. There seems to be a lighting issue back there. I've heard that from some of the goalies that have played in this arena.
So you're thinking advantage Blake because they get to go that way twice tonight?
Well, if it comes true in the second period, yeah, I'd say definitely.
Blake has scored 4 goals in each of the first 2 meetings between these squads. Here's a shot. Blockers say pops it up to the near side corner, and the period comes to a close. We're no closer to deciding who is the section champion as we still sit at a tie, just like we did at the Open. 1-1, our score between Breck and Blake. What a fun first period, and we've got plenty more to come. 2 more periods and our first intermission. The report is coming up shortly as well. You don't want to go anywhere. The Section 5 championship is on the line here in Class A.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Look at the Breck Mustangs fans. I'd be pretty happy with where we sit. Neither team can be upset. 1-1 our score after one period. John Edmond, Dan Ficken, glad to be back with you here on CCX Media. And let's look back at the first period that was. It was a lot of fun to start off the night's action. You had this chance in the middle on the shot by Olivia Mobley. She wasn't able to get the score on that try, stopped by Beisel, but Mobley wouldn't be denied all night. She's able to take it in here and scored the opening goal of the game right about the midway point of the first period. It was before the power play expired, so power play goal, and that hot Breck power play continues to roll. Blake, well, they survived at times. See the nice save that time by Beisel. She's had to step up a couple of times to shut down chances. Same for Franzik on the other side, poking that one clean. This is the big one. The equalizer got deflected by the glove at the very last second, but hangs under the crossbar to tie us at one apiece. The score for McClanahan came with 91 seconds left in the period, so we are tied at one. Scoring chances fairly even, just the one penalty, and of course, the big thing there, Breck made Blake pay for that mistake.
And considering the fact that Blake has a 91% power or penalty kill, that was an achievement. I mean, Breck's got a good one, but that was a good one. They got to take advantage of those opportunities against Blake because they know they're going to have to score 4 goals in this game, no question.
For Mobley, that's her third power play goal of the season. And again, great action in the first period. Equal action in the first period. We'll hope for more in the second. That's coming up shortly here on CCX Media.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
High school hockey on CCX Media tonight. It's the girls Section 5 Class A championship game, and we've talked about it throughout the evening. This is the number 1 versus number 2 team in the state. For many, this is the state championship. Usually the winner of this cruises through the state tournament at the XL Energy Center. So, well, speaking of that state tournament, here are your last rankings. This came out before the postseason began, and some of these teams are already headed to the X.
Yeah, St. Paul United's in, Proctor Hermantown's already in, and of course only one of these 2 teams can make it in there, but that's just the way it crumbles, and good lineup there. I could see maybe that Princeton game wasn't such a fluke against Breck the other night.
It was a tight win for Breck, 2-1 to earn their spot here in this section championship game. A little conversation coming before the start of this game as the forwards go back to the Blake bench early on. Trying to figure out what the issue is here, and both sides will retreat. We're short on officials?
No, we have too much water on the ice. You see, the parade when it gets a number of people in here, it gets heated up pretty good, and it takes a long time for the water to freeze on the ice, so they don't want to have any play stopped because a puck gets stopped in the water, etc. We've seen this in a few of the boys section finals. I've seen it happen a lot.
Well, we've been chatting, we got the time now. We've been chatting about some of these players that are going to the next level, and it might not be next year, but they've made their commitments. And why don't we go through some of these because there are so many. We'll begin with Blake. We know that the goaltender Beisel is headed to UMD. Adeline Burton going to the University of Minnesota after 3 more years of high school hockey. She's just a freshman. Lucy Burton, her older sister, is headed to play for the Yale Bulldogs. She was on the starting line tonight. Madeline Wethington, the sophomore for Blake, is going to the University of Minnesota as well. You've got Kira Willoughby headed to Harvard. Vojta going to Yale along with Burton, although Voigt will be a couple of years behind her. Dartmouth for McClanahan. Those are the players for Blake that are headed to the next level as of now. There are still plenty of players that might earn their way because there's so much talent up and down that roster.
Yeah, and Breck, obviously, Zumwinkle going to the U along with the Blake Bear Wethington. They'll be teammates next year. And Kendall Williamson committed to Colgate. I think we have 2 more now that we found out are committed from the Breck.
Billings going to Dartmouth, so that'll be with McClanahan. They're both juniors this year, so they'll enter at the same time. And then, what a great hockey name. The Trinity Bantams will be getting Abigail Riskovich. So
Trinity Bantams, excellent lookup. I love it. Oh, man.
Looks like the ice has become ice. The water is ice. We're ready to go. Start of the second period, 1-1. We start even strength. And Breck taking that opening draw. Blake takes it away, and now they come in offensively. Puck slid down to the near side boards. Around behind the net. Blake in the whites with the green helmets going left to right here in this second period as you watch. Sent around to the far side. Blake trying to hold the zone, able to do so thanks to the efforts of Wellington and Delianitas. Out of the near side boards, Breck controls. Grace Zumwinkle gets a hold of it. And she pushes it off the boards to herself. Zumwinkle into the offensive zone. Zumwinkle on her backhand into the near side corner. Zumwinkle looking for an opportunity to feed the front. Has options there. Carries out and has it taken away from behind by Lucy Burton. She slides it forward, brought into the offensive zone by Levitt. She goes down hard. Now to the far corner. No arms in the air. We skate on. 16 minutes to go. Just a minute into this second period. Blake can't hold the zone. Breck bounces it out to Zumwinkle. She's always waiting at neutral, it seems like. Zumwinkle with a hard shot, and that one clears the crossbar down to the near corner. It goes up and over the glass into the netting by just a bit. So we do have a stoppage, and we'll get a face-off coming shortly.
Face-off coming outside the zone, but look at that hit. They're letting them play tonight. I mean, we saw Zumwinkle get hit hard in the early part of the first period, and here we go back again. So no referee's going to make a decision in this game. They're going to let the kids take care of it.
Off the drop, Breck sends it into the zone. Puck escapes Beisel, who tried to slow it down, but she couldn't get there in time. Puck left out. Now a shot. That one just pinched by Beisel.
That kind of fluttered a little bit, John, and got on her a little bit different than she thought. It almost slipped underneath her arm there. But I like this play. Get it up top, spread it out a little bit.
Emily Zumwinkle there, and again, it's kind of the wing there for Beisel. I don't usually talk about that for goaltenders, but she's been pinching the elbow down to shut down goals. She's probably got a big loose jersey on, so it gives much of that sweater in the way as possible to slow it down and then pinch down the arm. Here, shot slides in on her again. She pokes it away before it enters the crease. Down to the near side corner. Breck trying to continue the pressure. They had Mobley in front but couldn't find her. Now at the blue line, Breck can't hold the zone. Blake gathers control near the blue line. This is CeCe Wallace. Sends it to the far side. Now tipped through neutral. And Breck into the offensive zone. Hard shot goes off a skate. Able to slow that down with her foot with Sarah Chute. Chute behind the net. Now loses it to Breck. Blake able to knock it away. Carries out of the zone. All the way to the other end. Icing call against the Bears.
Yeah, we talk about the tradition of these programs here. You're mentioning Chute. I mean, Chute this is the 6th Chute that's gone through the Blake program. I mean, once they get in and they stay pretty loyal and all the kids keep coming through it again, and they all tend to be pretty good athletes, thus the programs keep staying very strong.
14:36 remaining in our second period. 1-1 the score as the draw inside the Blake zone immediately pushed out. Now here's Grace Zumwinkle on the shot. Too much traffic in front. A couple of stick blades got on that one. Blake to neutralize. Audrey Wethington in across the blue line. Poked off the puck by Catherine Solohub. Puck taken towards the net, slides across the edge of the crease and down into the corner. That didn't look like a play Franzik was going to be able to make if it had come at a different angle.
And completely by surprise. She lost it big time.
Puck right in front of the net, shot, goal! Sat right on the doorstep, and Sarah McClanahan with with her second of the night, gives her team the lead. Bears in front for the first time. It's 2-1.
Well, McClanahan just sitting on the outside there waiting for her, and one finally dribbled through that Francis couldn't get to, and she just buried it up top and made a no-brainer out of that one. Watch it kind of lie. Got kicked by a defenseman, and McClanahan, instead of going all the way through and continuing to skate, she stops. Watch right there. That's the key right there when she stopped, and it dropped right on her stick, and she buried it for her second goal to give the Blake Bears a 2-1 lead.
So McClanahan now a baker's dozen goals on the season as she picks up 2 tonight. Breck trailing for the first time, gets into the offensive zone, takes the shot, save. It's dropped down in the crease and then covered up by Beisel. Another look at this goal. I think they're going to give 1 assist on the goal to go to Addie Burton, the freshman, feeding McClanahan.
Yeah, I think you're right, and nice play by her again. You know, a lot of times they'll skate by the net once and have an opportunity to just keep going, and you know, she stopped, saw the opportunity, and just buried it. Do you think these kids are a little intense about this game? Did you see her reaction?
They did give a second assist on the goal. Audrey Wethington gets the assist, her 13th of the season for Addie Burton. That was her second of the postseason, 10th of the year overall. Blake having some trouble controlling. Now they pass it off the boards, and it's picked up by Lily Delianitas. Knocked back in by Breck into the corner. First player there, Sarah Levitt. D-to-D pass now pushed forward. Lucy Burton trying to give it ahead. Into the offensive zone. Delianitas puts a shot on. Hard angle. Goal! That one bounces off the side of the tender.
No goal.
Now they're saying no goal.
No goal.
It did bounce off the side and took an awkward bounce. They're going to chat with the goal judge now.
This is where it's great to be on TV, John.
Yeah,
I like it.
We might be able to get to see this again.
I hope so. That it did look good to me.
However,
too.
what we see going forward does not mean anything, because any replay that we are able to gather here will not be used by the officials. It's up to the officials and the goal judge.
We'll get a good look here now. Nice rush into the zone. Freshman coming in. She just snaps one off. Oh, that looks like a goal to me.
I don't know where else it would have gone other than the back of the net there.
Yep, I don't know who else it could have bounced off. That was definitely a goal.
No signal coming off of the chat with the goal judge. Now all three are going to meet.
Boy, this would be a big goal right here. Be a 2-goal lead.
And if it's not a goal, that will be huge as well, because it absolutely went in the net from what the replay shows us.
Yeah, good camera work by the guys here too. They got it all. It's going and then it stops. Yeah, you can see it hit the center post there as it got in on the short side. I think it tipped off.
Oh my, no goal is the final decision. And
Nice job, coach. He said, okay, fine, whatever. Let's just play.
well,
That's impressive. I'm sorry. This is a really important game, and for him to just have that attitude,
stay
fine.
cool about it. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, for any of you that are here in the building tonight, when you watch this later, now you know. Here, an arm in the air on the other end. 13 minutes to go, and we get an interference call as Blake leads 2-1. Should be 3-1. And now Blake has to sit a player. I believe that was CeCe Wallen going into the box for interference. Yes, it is, number 14.
Yep.
Wallen leads her team in penalty minutes coming into the day. She had 20 on the year.
Boy, talk about a total turnaround here. But Breck, you know, if Breck scores in this, that change of goal call is a 2-goal change right there.
Puck play behind the net by Breck. Can this deadly power play unit do it again? They've scored once tonight. Puck along the near side boards. A lot of movement in front of the net. They don't just camp someone out there. Players sliding in. Now it's knocked away and cleared to the other end. Be about 90 seconds left on the power play once it's gathered. Oppenheimer taking her time, sends it out to the far side boards. And brought across the blue line by Zumwinkle. She takes the shot, heavy shot, it's set on the doorstep. The defenders clear it out. Grace Boyda picking up Beisel, who made the initial save with her pads.
Well, Beisel got that one solid. I think they heard that one out in New York.
Puck brought forward, pushed up, and across. Big shot again. Glove save made. Ooh, flashing the leather is Olivia Beisel on the blast from Grace Zumwinkle.
Wow, just the velocity of Zumwinkle's shot is unbelievable. I love the way Bazal said, okay, I'll catch it. Okay, next, what else you got?
Get a look at some of these chances for Breck. There's the one that sat on the doorstep, and you could see Kendall Williamson there waiting to poke it in. This one was headed to that crossbar, might have cleared it, but Beisel made sure. Puck left to the top of the slot. Quick shot from there, and trying to poke it through the 5-hole, it won't go. Beisel squeezes the knees.
Boy, nice job. Shut her down. We had Breck Mustangs all over the place down there, and she really stomped down on it good. Gave no rebound. Nice play to get it up to the top.
Billings started with that shot from the top, and then again, you can see Williamson in there trying to stab it in. 40 seconds remaining on the power play as Blake tries to knock it out. Knocked down, now sent towards the net. Here's the shot. Goal!
Guess who?
Olivia Mobley with her second of the night.
It's a night of 2-goal scorers. Olivia Mobley doing what McClanahan did. Parks herself in front of that net. Ain't leaving. Got the rebound to drop down on her, and boy, I'll tell you what, she buried it quick. Just beat Beisel to the spot here. I think it went under the arm or took a 5-hole. Good play there. Save it. And their defense's mistake by not putting it in. And then
she hit it off that post, but it bounced the right way if you're Breck.
Right there, good play. And then having her in the right place at the right time, go short side. And we've got a tie game, and there's just been a 2-goal swing in this game.
Again, the goal that didn't count for Blake, then a penalty right after that. And Breck scores their second power play goal of the day, both from Mobley.
I think there should be a message in the Bear bench right now. Stay out of the box. Because Breck is taking advantage of the opportunities.
They give one assist on the Mobley goal. It goes to Nicole Oppenheimer, her third of the postseason and 19th of the year. 11 minutes remaining in the second period as we are knotted at 2. Puck brought through, neutralized by Blake's Madeline Wethington. And now we get a whistle on an offsides call. Remember back to that top shelf goal for McClanahan that got Blake on the board to start. There was a player ahead of that action who was able to slide her skate back just barely to stay on sides before that goal. So that goal was very close to not happening. And then you've got the Blake goal that did get stopped from happening, even though it went in. So by virtue of our ability to see things on replay, we've been able to see a lot more than the folks have here inside the rink tonight. Puck played off the far side boards in the Blake end. Blake hasn't given up an even strength goal yet today.
Well, we were talking to the Blake coach too about the power play isn't very good. It's got small numbers, but they kind of look at you. Wasn't real worried about it. And I said it must be okay playing 5-on-5. He says we've been real good doing that this year.
And they've been pretty darn good when it comes to 5-on-4 the wrong way.
Yeah.
Their penalty kill at 91% so far this season, but Breck has cracked it open tonight with 2 goals.
Who we got going here for the Breck? Ella Brophy's going in for the Mustangs. All right, we're going to get to see Blake's power play now. Okay, the 91% penalty kill got lit up. Maybe the 18% power play will start lighting things up.
Well, Breck's penalty kill 86%, so those are your numbers coming in. What will we have here is Brophy takes just her 4th penalty of the season. Puck given down to the near side. Skated towards the net, then softly laid forward by Lucy Burton. Tipped away, it ends up back in the corner. McClanahan has it, already 2 goals for her today. Puck towards the middle, knocked away, back to McClanahan. Up to the top of the slot. Slid to the far side, shot, pad save made as that one got in deep past the traffic, but the stop there by Francic.
Francis got to start letting up on these rebounds that caused McClanahan's second goal was off a rebound, and she's giving one up real close there on the power play. She's got to clamp down on it, and don't let him get another opportunity.
Tell you, when Grace Zumwinkle intercepted that pass up near the blue line, I thought she was headed the other way. Has 1 shorthanded goal this season. Her team 3 shorthanded goals. Here, puck taken towards the net. Player goes down, arm in the air. And we're about to have 5-on-3 action. Tripping call against Breck. 1:06 remaining on the first penalty. Sitting down is Nicole Oppenheimer.
Just a good burst of speed by Izzy Daniels, or is that Izzy Daniels? I think so. Well, she gets tripped up, and well, you got to be careful with that stick.
That's Izzy.
Yeah, just took it out from under, no question. Okay, now Breck's going to be put to the test. Looks like the yin and the yang in this game, John's coming around. You know, Breck gets an enormous break for about 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, oh, it's turning a little.
Blake, 5-on-3. 1 minute of that remaining as the puck slid along the blue line, given down to the near side, passed across, top of the circle, far side, now to the top of the slot. Voida sends it in deep, past the middle, shot save made, it pops loose, cleared to the top and out of the zone. Breck survives the first opportunity.
Boy, nicely built opportunity there, and I'll tell you, Frantic's having trouble. She's having trouble holding on to that puck.
Burton gets it in, tries to pass to the middle, taken away, and carried out of the zone. Big pickup here by Carly Binnick. Binnick knocked off the puck, and it's sent down to the near side. Blake back into the offensive end, controlling his CC Wallen. Tries to send it across, ends up on the far boards. 20 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Dancing with it here is Levitt. Ends up behind the net, that's Lucy Burton. Squares up, takes the shot, save made, adds to post there for Franzik to make sure that it didn't get through. Into the corner, Blake picks it up, 5 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Hard angle shot, save made, rebound shot, saved again. Now another opportunity, it's loose and it's cleared away by Breck.
My.
Mustangs fortunate that bounced to one of their players in the end, and they're able to clear it away from Franzik. One skater is out of the penalty box, 40 more seconds of power play opportunity for Blake. Into the offensive zone. Blake controlling. Izzy Daniels skating at the top of the circle. Wrister put on, glove save made. Francis stabbing that one out of the air.
All right, good save by Frantic there. She got it, she held on to it, slowed things down, didn't give up a rebound. If I'm Blake right now, I'm saying, you know what? We need to crash the net and get some shots on her and see what falls at our feet.
Mentioned Blake won the 2 regular season meetings. They won last year in the section championship. They've won the last 3. Breck did win one of the regular season meetings a year ago, so it's not like it's been an overwhelming run. Right now we're tied at 2 as Breck clears the zone once again. The penalty kill unit has been strong thus far for the Mustangs in their first time being tested, and being tested in a large way on that first chance. Here, puck handed back to Delianitas, knocked off her puck. Now a pass to the front, shot goes just wide on the attempt by Izzy Daniel. Puck towards the front again, and it's bounced out of there by Breck. They kill it. They kill them both, and we skate 5-on-5 with 7:18 remaining in the second. Breck in their own zone trying to track it down with Oppenheimer. She ends up behind the net. Nicole Oppenheimer trying to slide it forward. Does get it out to neutral ice. Blake takes it away there. Coming on the attack is Tix. Sends it towards the net. Intercepted before it got there. Oppenheimer has great recovery speed. She shows it again. Back to the blue line. Held in there courtesy of Madeline Wethington. Now towards the front of the net, and the puck bounces away all the way out of the zone. Puck sent down to the near side for Blake. This is Sarah Levin trying to force it forward. Taken away by Breck. Pass ahead, taken by Olivia Mobley. 2 goals in this game. She slides it into the offensive end and goes off on a change. Puck around the boards down to the near side. I feel like I'm watching a tennis match all of a sudden. Back and forth we go.
My neck's beginning to hurt.
That one was an icing as it went all the way to the other end. Face-off coming back inside the Blake zone.
Yeah, we asked Coach Engelhardt if she was going to, just run 3 lines, and she kind of said, well, we'll see. I would expect her now. I would start seeing Zumwinkle a little bit more often. And you explained, too, against Blake, she has had trouble scoring. Well, you know what? This is the time to get her out of that funk here and get her on the board. I was going to say, well, somebody besides her's got to score. Well, somebody has, and now it's her turn to step up.
Again, in the pregame, we mentioned her 9 regular season hat tricks, but she also had one in their lone playoff, or one of their 2 playoff games. So 10 hat tricks, and when she gets 3, she just as often gets 4 or 5. So she is a big time scorer for this squad. Mustangs back in their own end right now, trying to fight off the Bears. Is Ella Brophy getting to the puck first. She's taken off it by McClanahan out towards the blue line. The slap shot stopped up on the attempt by Cece Wallen. The defense got in her way. Now Wallen back at neutral ice, turns and heads towards the net. Wallen up the near boards, comes towards the goal, takes a shot. That one bounces harmlessly away thanks to the tender and is worked out of the zone by Breck. Looks like it's going to the other end. Icing call against the Mustangs.
Oh, there were some tired legs on the blue team there, I'll tell you what. That was a good icing. That made a lot of sense. And, of course, they don't have to pay the price by keeping the same group on. But, boy, you know, the skating and the power that these girls are showing tonight, you know, it shows a dramatic improvement in girls hockey here. And, you know, this is really a fun game to watch.
I'm going to say, watching the two coaches on the benches tonight has been very interesting as well. Because you talked about the calm and the coolness of Sean Reed when that call didn't go his way. As this puck brought in by Breck, centering pass goes all the way across. Seems like every time we get Rhonda Engelhardt on camera, she's smiling and laughing a little bit with her players, just keeping it really relaxed on the bench.
Well, they were a real loose group when we walked in the building. They had music going on. They were singing to it. They were dancing and just kind of, I think that's the way this group rolls, you know. And the Blake players, a little bit more tighter, a lot more quieter.
Puck pushed into the near side corner. Breck intercepting a pass, now plays it off the far boards. Can't get it out of the zone initially. Grabbed here by Gabby Billing. Brown behind the net. Billing sends it forward on the near side. Zumwinkle turns now, gets a shot off from the blue line, and this one swallowed up in the breadbasket of Beisel.
Well, Zumwinkle's not afraid to put the puck on the net. I mean, she's taking it from any angle and from any distance here. Just stays outside the blue line and kind of flutters one in there. But I wonder what would happen if she would let one go and they gave her enough room to let one go.
Well, that's the thing. She hasn't had, I think, the kind of charge to the net that she would like at any point this night. She's either had to go to her backhand and been pushed into the corner, or she's let it fly early because she sees the defense has already gotten back in time.
Yeah, the Bears' radar is definitely zoned in on number 4. I mean, they don't want her to get rolling either. As you said, you know, they have really shut her down, and more than any other team in the States been able to do.
Puck controlled by Blake. They'll slide it back. It's a Willoughby. Handed forward. Maddie Wellington into the offensive zone. Able to control past a couple of Breck players. Gets all the way to the net. Then lost it in front of the crease. Breck clears the zone. This one slowed up by the tender. Beisel hands it off to Addie Burton. Down to the near side boards. Breck disrupting things a bit. Takes a hard bounce. Awkward. Zumwinkle loads up. Shot wide. Just missing.
Almost too much zing on that shot.
Air puck slid forward, and icing calls. That one came from just beyond the center line.
That's the first time now that we've seen Zumwinkle go off. One line made a change, and she came right back out again. So looks like Breck is going to a 2-line run now.
That's with us being in a tie game. It's not like desperation and they have to catch up.
Well, I just love the fact no matter what the scores are in the regular season between these teams, if it's a section final, it's about as even Steven as you can get.
Breck able to pick it back up in their own zone. A couple of players tripping up right now for Blake, but Blake is able to get a hold of it. Wallen into the offensive zone. Puck works its way into the corner. Blake player down. She's able to get up as Breck moves the puck forward. Grace Zumwinkle, check that. This is Billing. Gabby Billing into the offensive zone. Couldn't get a shot away. Blake takes it away behind the net. Flips it forward. Bouncing puck collected at neutral by Brophy. Ella Brophy spins around, plays it off the boards. Teammate coming in to help. Brophy again pushing it forward. Up off the bench and able to secure control is Bennett. Brophy forward again to Mobley.
Oh, nice play.
Breck couldn't quite get it away from Blake. Feed ahead to Lucy Burton into the offensive end. She's got help. Burton the shot. Save made. Big rebound out there. And then Breck collapses before a second shot can be taken. Into neutral ice. Maddie Wellington had it knocked away by Mobley. Blake player goes down hard. We skate on. Breck controlling at neutral. Bounce it off the near side boards and into the offensive end. 2:12 to go in the second. 2-2 our score. Puck left out to neutral. Breck picks it up again, trying to move forward. We got a player off sides. Now we get the touch up. Blake knocks it out of there. Breck controls. Not much for possession for these two sides. It's been tough to hold on for long without a power play. Mobley run off the puck in the far corner. Poked out of there by Maddie Wethington behind the net.
The spacing's really good. Nobody's getting a lot of room to move.
Puck brought into the offensive zone. Given to the middle, and the shot deflected as a defender got a stick on the shot by Maddie Wethington.
And just as I said that bang, Blake creates a great opportunity.
We talked about how it's been a little physical tonight. Just a little. Sarah Levitt hops right back up, though.
Well, see, and that's the thing I don't think people get about these girl athletes. They don't care. I mean, they're here to play, and they're athletes. Okay, you knock me down, big deal. They like the physical game, and I think one of these days we might start seeing checking sometime in girls hockey.
Here, pass goes through the slot, but nobody there to put it home. Breck trying to get out of their own zone after that dangerous puck. Winkle almost got it into the offensive end with some space to work with. Instead, she was knocked away by Maddie Wethington, who's making plays on both ends. You got a whistle coming with 1:22 remaining in the period.
I think that's an offside call. There's coach again, yeah, just smiling.
It's hard to see the corners sometimes, or even the sidewalls, but the student section standing and cheering the way they have throughout the course of the night. And this building keeps getting fuller and fuller. Even from the start of the game, I'd say the crowd has grown quite a bit. Even with the late 7:30 start.
Yeah, but you got number 1 and number 2 playing. You know, if you like good hockey, this is a game to be at.
Blake into the offensive end. Audrey Wellington tries to send it down to the near side. Taken away by Breck. Long pass ahead to Zumwinkle. She does get a hold of it after Blake disrupted things for a moment. Under a minute to play in the period. Blake with Audrey Wellington. Given back and forth. Wellington now dumps it into the zone. Oppenheimer gives chase. First player there is Billing instead. Gabby Billing to Oppenheimer. And then unable to get out of the zone was Mobley. Back towards Mobley on the far wall. Does move it to neutral ice. Breck trying to bounce it forward. Blake takes control instead. Delianitas into the offensive end. Gives it across to Burton. Lucy Burton. Her shot didn't go anywhere. Breck takes it away. Sends it forward into the offensive end and knocked off the puck was Bennett. Looked like it was going to be a big chance for the Mustangs. Didn't go that way. Puck played to the far side wall off the stick of Delianitas. Blake can't hold the zone. We're running out of time here in the second period as the Bears retreat into their own end. That should wrap up the second, and it does. 2-2 our score after 2 periods of play, and the ties stay intact going to the intermission. 1 goal aside in that second period. Dan, how much different was the second period than the first period in your mind?
Where did that period go? Just like the first period. I mean, the pace is up and down. You made it. You said it too. It's like watching a tennis match. They're going back and forth, back and forth. You know, this is just, I think the pace continued. I think there were good opportunities. I think Breck reestablished himself a little bit better in that period than they did the first. And this is a game now. We got 17 minutes now. It's all down to that.
First, we've got our intermission report. That's coming up around the corner as again in this championship game in Section 5, Class A. We're all tied at 2.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
Section 5 Class A championship game, number 1 and number 2 in the state, meeting here tonight at the Parade Ice Garden in Minneapolis. John Edmund, Dan Ficken back with you for our second intermission report as we are tied at 2 This game has been tight the entire way. These teams tethered to each other on the scoreboard. And in the second period, good action once again. A lot of fun plays. You get the wrister, and that one shut down by Bison. Play in front of the net, just ends up right with McClanahan. Intense on the score, her second of the day. Put Blake in front for the first time, and then it looked like Blake had extended the lead. This goal was not reviewed by video by anyone but us, but the goal judge was talked to. It was ruled no goal, which was the initial call. It was not overturned by anyone. And so then Breck on the power play gets their second of the day from Mobley, and so we're tied at 2 instead of what should have been. Also, it's been a bit physical out there to take that.
They're going after it. You know, we just saw the intensity on Sarah McClanahan's face and Mobley when she scored too. I mean, this is playoff hockey, and these girls understand what they're playing for, and they're going after it.
Look at the stats after a period, and again, things are close, but how big a difference the special teams have been tonight is the story of why Breck is in this game, whereas in the other two meetings, they had fallen 4-1 and 4-2. Now, we still have a third period to play, so we don't know what's going to happen there, but Breck has kept it tight the entire way, thanks in large part to those small opportunities that they've taken advantage of on the power play, and stifling with their penalty kill, because remember, that was a 5-on-3 situation that Blake had.
Yeah, they took an opportunity that Blake had and just shut the door. You know, in this period, Blake's got to do two things. They got to stay out of the box and keep putting shots on Francis and get her to keep giving up those rebounds. They're going to put one in. Breck, they got to get the puck cleaner out of their own zone. They're not reversing enough or moving fast enough and not getting clean passes on the sticks. They're fumbling it, giving Blake a chance to get on him. The other part of this is Breck's got to really take charge of neutral ice and extend it to make Blake play hard on 3/4 of the ice in this third period and then get their opportunity. But I still think Breck's going to have to score 4 goals to win this game. So we'll see what happens.
Nobody's been able to score 2 goals in a period. What will happen in the third? That's right around the corner here on CCX Media.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Biggest game of the season for Breck and Blake. One goes to the state tournament at the end of the night, but we are no closer to figuring out who it is because we are still tied. 2-2 our score as Coach Engelhardt brings her team in for a chat before the start of the third period. And I guess, Dan, we also have to wonder, are we going to have one of those unconventional water breaks to start the third period, just like we did the second?
I'd be willing to bet you we're going to, both corners are pretty wet here, so, you know. And you look at this game now, you got 17 minutes in the scoreboard. You know, for one team, at the end of the 17 minutes, their season is going to be over. And last few years, these games have been so close. Some of it's ended in overtime, which just tears the heart out of you. But, you know, when they look back at how well they played and what a great game it was, they get some satisfaction. But it's going to stink. And for the team that wins, going to state, you know, that's a big deal. That's a big deal in Minnesota, you know, when your high school team goes to state. So this is really, you know, 17 minutes of all-out intensity to reach a goal. And these two schools expect to meet that goal. They expect to go to state every year.
They are taking their time, not quite the same way they did before the start of the second period, but the officials letting it breathe a little before we dive into the third period. There we go, drop of the puck, and Blake controls to start. Each team has had a lead in this game. No one's led by more than one. Blake into the offensive zone. Puck right towards the front of the net. Shot, and that one got deflected away. Dangerous opportunity for Blake to start.
Oh, there's that. We were talking before the game. There's where Lucy Burton all of a sudden shows up. Where'd she come from? She's in front of the net with a puck.
Burton, 21 goals during the regular season, 2 already in their lone playoff win 8-1 over Minneapolis after getting the bye in the opening round. Puck back out to the blue line, held in by Willoughby. Down behind the net, Oppenheimer first there. She sends it down to the near side. And Breck carries out. Gabby Billing into the offensive zone. Billing centers it back between the circles. Puck pushed towards the net but never got to the crease. To the near side boards. Mobley coming in with it, sends it on. Goal! In front of the net was Kendall Williamson.
I think Mobley might have got that one, and I think the goalie was always worried about Williamson being in there, and Mobley snuck it in on her, and that would be the
hat trick.
The hat trick.
Waiting to see him hit the ice. Mobley on the backhand slides it towards the net. It deflected off a defender and not off of Williamson. So give it to Mobley, the hat trick. The first hat trick for a Breck player not named Zumwinkle this season. And what a time to have it. Here puck slid forward as it works back into the Breck zone.
Well, this was exactly what Breck needed to do too. They want to play this last period ahead. Well, now they got to make Blake come out a little bit out of their skin here now once it gets close to the end of this period.
For Mobley, that was her 11th goal of the season, and it was her hat trick for tonight.
Blake, or rather Breck, leading 3-2. They did give an assist on that goal to Carly Bennick, her third assist of the postseason, and her 17th of the year overall. Face-off coming just outside the Blake zone. There's a look at Mobley. Now, there were a couple of players that have scored their first goals of the season in the playoffs. And I thought, what a time to get that. But what a time for your first hat trick.
It's amazing when you get to the sections and stuff how the unsung heroes, the kids that have done the dirty work but haven't gotten the big goals or the big name, all of a sudden in the sections carry you. And that's what builds state championship teams. It's the whole team picking up.
And Mobley by no means has been bad during the rest of the season. 8 goals, 9 assists coming into the playoffs, but now 5 goals, 3 assists in 3 postseason games. An outstanding section run for Olivia Mobley.
Well, and this is the big stage.
Zumwinkle with a blast. That one. Looked like Mr. Miyagi with the chopsticks grabbing the fly out of the air there. She just squeezes that one between her arms.
That stung. She's a little... they're kind of looking at her. That was just a rip shot.
She says she's fine, but the look on her face after the official leaves. Woof.
Oh.
That got on her in a hurry. 14.5 minutes to go, third period. Breck in front, 3-2. Don't forget we had that controversial no goal in the second period, wiping away a score for Blake. Puck off the side of the cage. Frantic, watching over her shoulder as it's played off the back wall. Out towards the blue line, comes back in hot. Rung the pipe, now it's in the crease, no goal. Frantic.
Boy, how many breaks can Blake not get here? Wow.
You can hear that pipe echoing.
And it gets behind Frantic, and all of a sudden she's scrambling.
We never saw it get in. So.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, there's a shamrock there. I think some of the luck of that face mask is getting on, helping her out here.
Puck picked up in front of the crease, taken around behind by Breck. 14 minutes to go in this game. Breck has a 1-goal lead. Do you see them shifting things anytime soon in terms of their style of play coming down the stretch? Blake towards the net, shot goes wide for Delianitis.
Well, first thing is, that was a nice play by the D. They didn't give it away. They took their time and they got it out of the zone. We talked about that after the second period. They got to break it out clean. They can't have it fumbled off their sticks. And we get a good look at the shot here. Skips up, goes off the side of the net, but that had short side written all over it.
love side draw in front of Frantic. Puck squirts back behind the goal. Frantic yelling and pointing out as her teammates pick it up behind the goal. Try to slide it forward. McClanahan getting in her way. McClanahan is the only other player besides Mobley to score tonight. We have 5 goals, just 2 scores. Puck slid over to Audrey Wethington. Now behind the net, Delianettis has it, being ridden from behind by Catherine Solohub. Towards the front of the net, poked away last second, and ends up behind. Now back out to the top. Sumwinkle picks it up on the move. Sumwinkle breaks the blue line by herself. Sumwinkle to the middle, takes the shot. That one flutters too tall. Down in the corner, Blake picks it up. And the puck slid towards the other end. Bounced off the wall, and forced to play it was Franzing. Down to the near side, pushed forward. And now Breck retreating once again as Blake pushes it into the offensive zone. You get a whistle coming. Icing call. The hat trick from Mobley tonight.
It's really funny. We didn't see any hats hit the ice. I wonder if the crowd figured it out. But
well, it was announced when the scoring came through, both that her name was said to have scored the goal and they said hat trick. But at that point, it seemed too late. And I think they might have run into the same thing that I did with Williamson being right there. You thought maybe she got a piece of it. Blake coming in hard, and a penalty comes. I was thinking that was pretty good defense.
Yeah, it didn't look like she stuck the hip in it, but there's a little bit of Oscar-winning drama there, too, by the Bear player, and she got the job done.
This will be Oppenheimer's second trip to the penalty box. She had a trip earlier. Now she gets called for the interference.
That was Kyra Willoughby, or no, it wasn't.
Coming on the charge there. There's Levitt.
Izzy Daniel. Izzy Daniel pulling it out. She had some real speed there. She turned the jets on real quick. That gave her the advantage. And all right, we'll see what Blake can do.
Wethington lines it up. Shot, pad save, and then able to collapse on it is Frantic after the big blast by Madeline Wethington from the top of the slot.
A minor penalty has been assessed to the Mustangs.
3 words for the Blake Bears here. Get to the net. That's not enough players on the net. Get 2. The way Francis been giving up rebounds, you need to get 2 to 3 bodies in front of that net when a shot comes from the point.
Puck played in behind the net by Blake, controlling in the zone. At the half wall. Now to Wethington at the blue line, slides it across, open space, skates into the circle, shot goes just wide. McClanahan nearly had the hat trick. Now it's poked out of the zone. 90 seconds remaining as Blake gathers up before it gets deep in their own end. They tip it forward, knocked right out of there, and a good clear by Breck. Blake behind the net. Puck down to the near side. Blake into the offensive end. Blake takes the shot, puck is in the crease, but it is held onto between the legs of Ali Frantic. McClanahan really getting in there trying to poke it loose.
She's her dad.
I was going to say, does she remind you of anyone?
Oh my gosh, she's her dad. I mean, there ain't no messing around here. And then McClanahan comes into the defense of her buddy and just sticks her face right in there.
Yeah, McClanahan wasn't even the one on the doorstep trying to get it in. That was Lily Delianettis.
This is what Blake needs to do. They really need to get in there tight and really work it.
Back towards the blue line, shot deflected by a stick. Able to knock that one out of the air was Williamson. Great job defensively. Blake looking for a centering opportunity, but it's squeezed in the corner and collected by Breck. They whip it out of the zone. A little pursuit being put on here by Williamson. Williamson will cause a disruption to slow things down. 40 seconds left. She gets help in the corner. Mobley comes up with it. How about one more? Mobley on her backhand, slides it towards Williamson. Back to Mobley, shot goes just wide.
Mobley's a puck magnet tonight, and not only when she gets rid of it, it comes back to her.
Blake out of their own end. 22 seconds left on the power play as they break the blue line. Into the near side corner, puck played around behind the goal, ends in the far side corner. Back behind the net. Poke forward, doesn't work out. Breck into the near side corner trying to work it forward, and they do so into neutral. Zumwinkle was trying to get ahead with it. Now they're behind the play as Blake brings it back into the zone. Shot. That one hit the crossbar after a slight deflection from Franzik. Shot on. This one stopped up, pops high into the netting above the glass as the power play comes to a close. 3-2. Breck holding on to the lead just barely.
Oh, that was close. Maddie Wethington with a heavy shot coming in, and Franzik just could not handle it.
Just got a tiny piece of it. Glad she didn't get the manicure because that one went off the fingertips.
And then comes back out there from the short side and gets another shot, and Franzik didn't know where that was. It was stuck in her pads.
Blake sends it down around behind the net into the near side corner. Again, we're skating 5-on-5. Shots on goal were 18-16 at the end of the second period. That means it's 7-2 Blake so far here in the third period. And yet, Breck has been the only team to score here in the third. They lead by 1. Taking control, Bennick around behind the net. Tries to head towards the middle under duress. Blake takes it away and they move up the near side boards. Blake still with control. They break the blue line. Coming in strong towards the middle. Looking for an opportunity is Burton. Lucy Burton around behind the net. From the backboards, Delianidis losing it for a moment. Fight in the corner continues. Breck probably okay with a little time being burnt, even with it in their own zone. Now Blake has clean control. They send a player to the front of the net. Breck getting a hold of it for a moment. Can't work it out of the zone. Wethington bounces back. Chute sends it to the far side. Held in by Blake. Now gathered by Oppenheimer, and she clears it out. Check that. Mobley getting her stick on the puck again. Around behind the net. And Bennick not losing any gas. She continues to fight forward. Gabby Billing gets to it on the far side boards. Billing pokes it back behind.
John, it seemed to you, I mean, the Mustangs have got just a little bit of an extra step right now. They've kept the puck in the sidewall in their own zone, but look at them jump here. They're getting open, they're moving the puck, their legs are moving. Just way more jump than they've had for a while in this game.
Surprise there, Breck unable to hold the zone, but now they come right back on the attack. Here's a shot, save made. Just getting a piece of it was Beisel on the Zumwinkle try.
Boy, Zumwinkle's making every effort to get on the board here.
Puck towards the front of the net, and Zumwinkle got a tiny piece of it, but couldn't deflect it in. Players go tumbling hard into the boards. We don't get a call either way, and the Blake player's slow to get up as the action is right around her. That's McClanahan. She's been tough all night. We go in. Blake coming with the offense shot. Goal!
Oh.
Maddie Wethington crosses the blue line, and it's the second such goal for the Bears tonight. A blue line blast beats Franzik. We're tied at 3.
That was a heavy shot. That's what gets you to the D1 Minnesota Gophers right there. They'll get a chance to look at this shot again. But John, I was talking about that earlier in the first period, where that shot was from and where it went. It went to that upper corner again. They're going to get across, and she just, oh, what whip on that. Oh, my gosh. The problem there is Franzik was stuck inside her. She wasn't outside the crease there. She didn't cut down an angle. And by the time it got to her, it was out of her reach, and we're being down like that.
You said it would take 4 to win. We're tied at 3.
Yep.
7:50 remaining in this third period.
Wow, that was a heavy shot. Whoa.
McClanahan doesn't get the goal, but she gets the assist on the score by Wethington.
I think she'll be okay with a 3-point night. She's worked very hard, too, though.
Either one of these teams going to be happy with the stats as long as there's a W at the top of the sheet. Air puck controlled by Breck. Mobley gets around 2 defenders. Mobley takes a hard angle shot. Why not? This one ends up going to the far corner. Now off the half wall. Breck holds it in, sends it towards the net, having to stop it. Beisel now covers up with the glove.
Yeah, smart play by Beisel there. Puck came back, we're just settling down. They're having trouble getting out of the zone. All right, let's just reset, get a face-off, and get it out from there. Well, we've seen some efforts tonight by some kids. I mean, big efforts, obviously. Zumwinkle working hard, Mobley working hard, but, you know,
that was another shot for Mobley on goal. Blake wins the draw. Breck trying to hold the zone, unable to do so. They dump it in, though, right away. So everyone touches up while Blake controls behind their own net. Under 7 minutes to play. Blake sending a pass out long. Taken by the defensive Breck. They'll push it to the far side boards. Circling around Zumwinkle. Gets by a defender. Blows by another. Zumwinkle tries to center, and she whiffed on the pass. That one slid off her stick awkwardly. Behind the net, Maddie Wethington. Controls, tries to send a pass ahead, deflected away by Breck. Good job to get a stick on it by Solohup. And a whistle as this one popped up into the bench area, it looked like.
I love the way the Bears are going on the attack with a stretch in the ice. They're flying a wing out or a center out in the neutral zone and trying to hit her, and it's just pushing Breck's defense back and making them do a lot of skating forward and backward again. And you will see a lot more of that young lady here for the next 6.5 minutes.
6:29 remaining in the third period. Off the draw to the glove side of Franzik. Picked up in the far corner. And then turned over as Breck tried to clear the zone. Here's a shot, that one slides in. The rebound cleared away. It slid into the crease after an awkward deflection. And that is one area that Franzik has done a pretty good job with today. When her teammates have gotten a piece of the puck and thrown her off her initial line, she's been able to adjust. The air puck slides all the way to the top. Shot from there, stopped in front, and there was a player on the doorstep who couldn't get a hold of it. Blake takes it out. Sent forward looking for Lucy Burton ahead. Burton into the offensive end, but she's alone. Now Oppenheimer comes up with the puck. Oppenheimer around one defender. She gets it in over the blue line. Oppenheimer hands it back. Now clears out some space for Billing to the net. Shot goes wide.
Boy, it's a big mistake, John. You got to get this puck. Oh,
here's Wethington to the net. Shot, save made, rebound. That one held on to as well. And Franzik comes up big on a rush for Wethington.
Wow. What a turnaround. Wethington getting another opportunity here as she got the game tied up here. She's in all alone.
Got the shot she wanted.
Franzik did a good job there, but she did get outside the crease and then started coming back in as Wethington got it. So she played that really well, cut down the angle, and didn't give Wethington much to shoot at.
5:32 remaining in the period as we'll boot out.
As I was saying too, Breck's got to make sure that when they take a shot, they don't miss the net. I don't care if it's from a bad angle or not. They got to get it on the goal. Rebound could happen, or at least the goalie stops it.
Blake from the blue line, shot, goal! It deflects off of a Breck player and into the net. The Bears lead 4-3.
Deflections will kill you.
CC Wallen with just her second goal of the year.
Went off defenseman's number 14 of the Mustang stick.
It was 14 and 14. 14 from the blue line and 14 right in front of the net. So Blake in front 4-3. Off of the goal by Wallen. Again, it's a player that you might not expect stepping up with a big-time score. Gonna give Wethington an assist. So now Breck behind. They haven't been in this spot too much tonight. Breck player down on the ice. That was Gabby Billing. Able to get herself up, but it's Blake pushing into the offensive end. Annie Burton towards the net. Shot on the backhanded try right in front. Doesn't go. As they had Audrey Wethington trying to finish off the play.
Well, you see the opportunity. Look at this. She's all by herself. And just if she would have got that clean, that would have been ugly. But I'll tell you what. Blake is smelling the blood in the water right now. They're going to put every single puck they can on Franzik and just see what happens. She's been shaky. She's been shaky, and they're getting to her.
Audrey had 2 goals in the last game. Here's Breck into the offensive end. Shot in the glove, save made. And Beisel with about as confident a save as we've seen from her all night. She's feeling good with her team in front.
That glove. She's got a lot of confidence in that glove. No sweat. Grabs it, takes out. She's got the same thing going with the Shot by Zumwinkle.
The sophomore gets into her crouch once again as the face-off to her glove side. Breck pokes it towards the slot. Now it's picked up by Blake and carried out of the zone. Bears on the attack. They break the blue line. Here a shot. One goes down to the near side. Puck worked through the neutral zone as Breck tries to get back into the offensive zone. They'll send it behind the net looking for Mobley. She's been the golden girl tonight for the Mustangs. Couldn't get it. And instead, Blake works it out to neutral ice. They'll dump it ahead. Time running short, 3:50 remaining as Breck comes out from behind their own net. Gabby Billing holding onto the puck a bit. Now she carries in over the blue line. Billing heads towards the net, tries to get a shot away. It ends up off the backboard. Billing probably frustrated that that last goal went off of her stick. Puck bounces back out to neutral ice. Zumwinkle can't pick it up. Oppenheimer behind the play to shut things down.
Now it looks like Blake's got a little bit of extra jump in their step. They're really fighting hard and battling hard. All right, now there, that great example. Couldn't get it out. Breck gets the puck and they put it right on net and they get a face-off right off the bat. Brazil's not going to take any chances right now. These are the opportunities they got to do. Don't miss the net with your shots. You got to put it on the goalie. Make her make a play. Either make a save, a stop, or give up a rebound.
Off the draw, played into the near corner where Blake controls. From behind their own net, feed it forward to Delianides. Sends it ahead, in on the goaltender. Shot and a save made on that attempt. Rebound, and this one covered up. Not a rebound, excuse me, but a feed to the front of the net. And they had a player right on the doorstep once again. What a series of chances for the Blake School Bears.
Boy, they're not playing like they got a goal lead, are they? They're really pushing the envelope big time.
See the centering pass come right back. Franzik survives. Off the face-off in front of Franzik, back towards her, and she covers up in the crease. 2:55 to play.
You're not going to get very many games like this. The speed and the way the plays are being made here by both these teams, wow. Like you said earlier, John, it's just a shame someone's got to lose this game.
Breck off the draw. Mobley gets it out to neutral ice. Mobley sending it in deep, trying to give chase after it. Blake works it out to the far boards. They tip it. Gabby Billing tries to bring it in. She gets knocked off the puck. And Blake gathers up at the half wall, turns back behind the net. Bounce it off the boards to Wethington. Maddie Wethington down to the near side. Now given right back out. McClanahan into neutral. Gives it ahead. They break the blue line. A little herky-jerk, but Blake kind of made that look smooth somehow, getting it up ice. Then they take a shot that I don't think Franzik even tried to save.
No, it's kind of like, huh? Boy, I'll tell you, they're ripping rubber on her.
That was close to going wide, but somehow she snagged it without knowing it. And with 2:19 to go in the third period, Breck would like to see this puck on the other end of the ice because we're getting into the territory of pulling the goaltender. They do win the face-off, send it forward for Zumwinkle, hoping she can make a play. Instead, this one slides towards the goaltender.
Oh!
What was that?
Okay, the whistles are in the pocket, though, but I don't know. That was a little shot at Zumwinkle.
A little surprise. And, of course, the Breck power play has been stellar tonight. If they were able to get a chance late.
Yes, exactly.
That would have been huge. Instead, puck played off the boards down around behind the net. Maddie Wellington gets it up to the far side boards, and it's taken out of the zone by Blake. 2 minutes to play as Breck into their own end, chases into the near side corner. Puck left out, Zumwinkle on the attack. Zumwinkle towards the net, shot save made, second opportunity pops up. Now it's loose in the circle. And it's picked up by Blake. They'll send it around the official who danced out of the way. And to the other end. Icing is the call, though.
Now I'm wondering if there's a timeout going to be called here. Yep. Breck's calling a timeout.
So Coach Engelhardt asking for the timeout. See the two goaltenders trying to survive this. This isn't the kind of game that these goaltenders are used to because these two teams each allow about 1 goal per game.
Yeah.
So these goaltenders don't get scored on like this very often, and certainly not when it comes to Class A play.
Well, and then here's where all that AA play comes into play, so to speak here. I mean, the pace these ladies are playing at, don't tell me they're a 1A. Thank you very much, but they aren't. I mean, and it's line after line after line, and I've been watching Blake, and I'll tell you what, he's still running 3 lines. He's still running 3 lines. He's got a lot of confidence in his players, you know, and I think the attitude he gave us when he talked before the game is that, you know, they got a jersey, they earned it, so I'm going to play them all. And you know what? They were down by a goal here in the 3rd, and they just stepped up to the plate and played for him. And so far, they're going to play. So Breck, they got to pick it up now. They just got to know for the last minute and 38 seconds, forget about what's happened, get pucks on net, get to the net, and let's go get it. Because and any shot at this point is a good shot if it's on net.
You look at those deep lines. Who scored the goal that put us ahead? C.C. Wallen, a young lady with just 1 goal on the season coming in to tonight's action. It is right now the game-winning goal if the score holds up for the next minute 38. That's all that's left here inside the Parade Ice Guard. Of course, Breck would like to see more time put on that clock. Only one way to do that if you're the Mustangs. You have got to equalize. Mobley put out on the ice.
Well, they got to get 4, so here we go.
Well, we got an issue here because Breck has 6 skaters on the ice and their goaltender in the net. Now the goaltender is brought back.
Yeah, just you got the puck in the zone. Get your 6th player out.
So, Williamson, Billing, Mobley, Zumwinkle, Oppenheimer, and I'm missing one. Off the draw, played back around Billing and carried out of the zone. Blake centers the pass. This one poked forward and Zumwinkle back to grab it. Breck dodges a bullet there. They'll send it forward to Mobley. Mobley moves to the middle. She'll carry in over the blue line. Under heavy duress, Mobley loses the puck. Blake controls. They'll send it out of the zone. Puck towards the net. Goal! It goes the length of the ice. And the empty net goal by Wethington makes it 5-3.
Well, they're defending state champs for a reason, John. #1 team in the state for a reason. It didn't waste any time. Less than 16 seconds later, after Breck pulled the goalie, they didn't waste time, put the puck in the net.
Wethington from the corner, able to get it all the way to the other end of the ice and put it in, her 2nd goal of the night. She had the game tire at 4-3. Now she might have the dagger.
Well, she hasn't had a good 3rd period, has she? Hasn't been noticeable at all. It's going to be a pleasure watching her in maroon and gold.
No assists on the score. Back in the net is Franzik as Blake wins the puck forward into the offensive zone. 1:08 to go in the 3rd period.
All right, good play there. Blake now just make him go 200 feet. We don't have to score anymore.
Puck flutters in to the Blake student section. Blake, the defending state champions. They won in 2013 and 2014 as well. They have gone 4 consecutive years, and they're 53 seconds away from making it 5 consecutive years at the state tournament.
I think in every state tournament they've been in, they haven't won a game by less than a 2-goal margin. And I believe the score in last year's championship game was 8-0. So when we talk about this being the definitive state championship, I think you might be right.
Puck controlled by Breck with only 40 seconds left. The Mustangs held up for a moment, now slid down to the near side, into the offensive zone. Zumwinkle lets a shot fly, bounces off a shin, into the far corner, left back to the middle. Mobley gets a stick on it, pokes it towards the goal, cleared away by Blake. Mobley has it again. They did not pull the goaltender again. 22 seconds left, out to the blue line. Billing holding it, slides it across. Oppenheimer loading up, takes the shot. Goal!
Oh my!
14.7 seconds left as Oppenheimer rips one from the blue line and is able to score.
Just a standard screenplay. Finally got it up top, got it across. Good play. Oppenheimer. Watch, there's the move right there. Now look at screenplay. Kendall Williamson.
Williamson right in front. Looked like it might have gone off her body.
Well, 14 seconds or 15 and a half seconds here.
So Oppenheimer comes up with her 13th goal of the season for the defender. Off the draw, picked up by Billing. 12 seconds left. Slid forward to Mobley. She's trying to chase it down in the corner. 8 seconds left. Blake gets a stick on it. Blake to the far corner. Breck gives it out to the blue line. Shot from there, and it is not in time. The Blake Bears are your Section 5 champions. They are going to the state tournament for the 5th consecutive season.
What a hockey game. Got a 1-goal differential game. The 2 games earlier in the season meant nothing. This was a fantastic hockey game. And Blake really stepped up, showing their state championship chops here. I'll tell you what, they got down early in this period, the 3rd period, and just fought back and really, really did a superb job. Well coached, good hockey team. Going to be fun to watch them in state.
It'll be the 10th time overall that they've been at the state tournament. This game did not disappoint for the 10th consecutive year. The section championship between Breck and Blake gave us all the entertainment we could have hoped for. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Again, McClanahan scored a couple of goals early. Wellington scored a couple of goals late. Of course, Wallen's goal was huge as well. Yeah, the hat trick on the other side for Breck, as Mobley came up huge tonight in the championship, but it just wasn't enough for Breck as they come up just 1 goal shy of the Bears in the Section 5 championship game. Again, thanks for joining us this evening. And thanks to my broadcast partner, Dan Ficken, as well as our director, Isaac Rice Jr., and our entire CCX crew. I'm John Haddon saying so long from the Parade Ice Garden, where your Blake Bears are section champions. They beat Breck 5-4. So long, everyone.
There's been a real leader for the team.